Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be making my favorite challah. It's based off Bon Appetit recipe by Jill Kramer with a few of my own edits. So here are the ingredients list. As far as substitutions go, since there aren't very many ingredients, there's not a ton of them. If you can't find shortening, you can use butter. The only difference is that shortening is just kind of congealed vegetable oil and has no water. Butter is about 80% butterfat, 20% natural water. So if you use butter, it may alter the texture a little bit, maybe give it more flavor. If you do this, I would recommend adding maybe a tablespoon more of butter and reducing the water by a tablespoon just to make up for the additional water just naturally found in butter. As far as toppings go, I would recommend maybe poppy seed, everything but the bagel seasoning from Trader Joe's, or sesame seeds. But for this, I'm going to be making plain. So we're going to start by adding 2 teaspoons of sugar, 1/4 cup of warm water, and 2 packets of yeast into a big bowl. A packet of yeast is about 2 1/4 teaspoons, so I'm adding 4 1/2 teaspoons. This recipe makes 2 loaves. So you're just going to let it sit out for about 10 minutes in a big bowl. Mix it up a little bit just to make sure everything's kind of working together. Make sure your water isn't too hot so you don't kill your yeast. Now we're going to beat 2 eggs into a bowl, just lightly with a fork. Now we're going to add those 2 beaten eggs, 4 3/4 teaspoons kosher salt, 1/2 cup of melted shortening, 3/4 cups sugar, and 2 cups of warm water into a medium bowl, I guess, mixing it up. Again, if you're using butter, I would add maybe a tablespoon more butter, maybe cut that 2 cups of water into, just cut it by a tablespoon, but I don't think that it would really affect it that much. So make sure to mix it together kind of well. There will be a big chunk of sugar sitting at the bottom, but it's fine, it'll all get incorporated in. This also seems like kind of a lot of sugar for a savory bread, but it works out in the end. So now that our big bowl of our yeast, sugar, water mixture has been sitting out for about 10 minutes, you can see it's gotten kind of frothy, which is what you want, otherwise your yeast is dead and you're gonna have to start over. So here's kind of an up-close look of what it should look like, and there's my dog, eager to eat the bread. Then you're going to add your medium bowl mixture into your big bowl mixture. Now you can see the kind of the congealed sugar. You just want to get all of that in, it'll incorporate in. Then you're going to start with 7 cups of all-purpose flour. I end up adding about 7.5 to 8, and you're going to mix it all up, and it's going to make kind of a shaggy mixture. Looks kind of like that. It is going to feel very wet. If it's too wet, you can add a little more flour, but I would recommend just keep flouring your board as you're kneading. You're going to knead for about 10 minutes, and it'll take a while, but finally it'll make kind of a smooth, elastic dough. Then you're going to place your dough into a big bowl that you have greased with shortening for about 1.5 to 2 hours until it's doubled in size, like that. And like I said, this recipe makes 2 loaves. You're going to pour your dough out onto a floured surface and then split it in half. You want to make sure that the 2 halves are pretty much equal. They don't have to be perfect, but I just like to measure by my hands. So for the first loaf, I'm just going to make a traditional 3-strand braid. So you just split the half of the dough into 3 balls. Then you're going to roll each one out to make about 17-inch long rope. You want the 3 parts to be pretty much equal. Otherwise it makes your life kind of hard when you're braiding. So there's no perfect way to roll out the dough into the ropes. I like to smack it against the board a few times, then just kind of squeeze it. The board that I use has a measuring, it's like a ruler on the side, so that's helpful, but otherwise you can just go off of feel, however big you want it. So once you've squeezed out the 3 ropes, making sure they're not too thin so they don't break when you braid them, you're just going to pinch them together at the top, and then you just do a very basic braid, just crossing left and then right over the middle rope until you get to the very end. Then once you get to the end, you're going to pinch the end together so it looks a little bit more like a loaf. Then I'm just going to play with the ends a little bit to make it look a little bit nicer, and then put it to the side, and we're going to make our 6th strand now. So we're going to take that second half of dough and split it into about 6 equal parts. I was kind of hasty with this, and they weren't exactly equal, which made my life a lot harder when I was braiding, so I would recommend being more careful with that. We just do the same thing, roll each part out into about 17-inch long rope, and then we're going to pinch all the ropes together at the top and start braiding. So you start by taking the rightmost and cross it over to the left, then take the second left and cross it all the way to the right. Then you clear space in the middle a little bit, and you take the leftmost and put it into the middle. Then the second rightmost and cross it over to the left, clearing space in the middle again. Take the rightmost, put it into the middle. Second to the left, over to the right. Just clear the middle, left, into the middle. Second to right, over to the left. You can start to see the pattern now. Clear the middle, right, into the middle. Second to the left, to the right. Clear the middle. Left, into the middle. Second to the right, to the left. Clear the middle, right, to the middle. Second to the left, to the right. Left, middle. Second to the right, to the left. Redoing it. It's a little short. Right, to the middle. Second to the left, to the right. And you just continue with that pattern. As you can see, my ropes were not the same length, which caused me a lot of problems. And if they were, it would be a lot easier. But here's the difference between the 2 loaves, between the 6 strand and the 3 strand. Then you're gonna let them sit out for about an hour until they're 1.5 times in size. Put them onto a greased baking sheet and brush them with egg wash and then whatever topping you like. Then you're gonna put it into an oven heated at 325 degrees for about 15 minutes. Then you're going to turn the oven up to about 425 degrees and check it at 5 minutes and 10 minutes until it has that really nice golden color. And then you're done. The recipe for this will be included in the description of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. Thanks!